Starting. All right, we're starting.
We are starting. This is going to be our first Facebook Live, I think, together, maybe, that we've ever done. I don't know.
I don't know. It's the first one we've done on purpose together anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's Chuck and Pat.
Hi, guys.
So we're going to talk about real estate this evening, answer questions, and we got Lucky the dog here, too.
We have Lucky. He's actually laying on my lap. See his little face?
I don't know if you can see him or not.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
All right, I hope y'all enjoy this tonight.
All right, so we're going to start off with some stats, Pat.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so anyway, what do you think about the market right now?
It's still a seller's market. It has decreased a little bit, though. I've seen it.
Yeah, you're seeing that. I'm seeing that, too.
Yep.
And so what do you mean when you say it's a seller's market?
What I mean by that is you got to move fast on a property. You can't sit around. You can't, hi, Polly. You can't sit around. You have to move fast on it. You have to make sure that you probably are going to put in a full price offer.
Yeah.
It goes quick. The houses are going real quick still.
One of our colleagues has a pretty cool saying. It's if you have to sleep on it, you're not going to sleep in it.
That's right.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, but check these out. These numbers are pretty recent here. The closed sales are actually down 4.3%. Cash deals are down 8.4%. So cash is way down.
So we have
which is interesting.
We have a lot of international investors, and with the Chinese market the way it's going right now, so that might be an influence because they don't have access to maybe their cash over there right now.
Yeah, you're right, because the Chinese people, it's harder for them to get the cash out of their country right now.
Sure is.
So as a result, we're seeing less, and 20% of the people who buy here in the Tampa Bay area are foreigners. So and a lot of those were Chinese folks. So so that I think that's what's affecting that.
Sure.
That's really good. The median sales price is actually up almost 10%.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So the price of property is still going up, and man, that's of course you read the news and the news is all like, oh yeah, everything's the bottom's dropping out and blah blah blah. But the numbers here don't lie. There might be other parts of the country maybe that are doing badly, but here in Florida and especially here in the Tampa Bay area, that's just not the case. So check this out. Time to contract, which means that from the time you put it on the market until the time that you've got a signed contract, it's actually gone down almost 10%. So it's almost 10% faster to get a contract now than it was this time last year, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And the active listings, well, those are down 12%. So that's why, like you were saying, we're seeing a little bit of stabilization in the market.
Yeah, which will be good. Hey, Claudia, how are you? So yeah, there'll be stabilization in the market, I think. And it's not going to be a buyer's market here for a very long time. If you look across the country, some places have turned, like New York is now a buyer's market.
Definitely.
But it's going to take a while before I believe it reaches here.
Yeah, it seems like, you correct me if I'm wrong, Pat, but it seems to me that if you take a look at what's going on in New York City, we're about a year behind that.
Yeah.
That seems to be historically the way it goes.
Yep.
So we can take a look at that and kind of predict our future somewhat. So it has turned into a buyer's market up there.
Sure.
But we're a long ways off from a buyer's market here, especially when you take a look at these most recent numbers. And I think people's attitude is really good out there too. The interest rates are still low. They've been going up, and they actually went down a little bit a couple of weeks ago, which was not expected at all. So that was great news. The rates kind of mimic the stock market. They're expected to go back up because the stock market's heading back up now. At least that's my understanding. It's if you look at that thing every day, it'll drive you nuts.
Don't look at it.
But what's the highest interest rate you've ever seen?
Okay, so I bought a house, and I'm going to show my age here, but back in like 1986, and this was up in New York, and interest rates were almost 18%. Now, don't all faint, but that's how much it was. And I remember being on the phone with the lender, and it was going to change just like a little percentage, and totally freaking out because you know, when you're up in the 17, 18s, even 16s, or anything that, you know, a lot of people have not seen, it's pretty remarkable. Just even a fraction can really change your mortgage payments. So
yeah, that's right. And really, I mean, we could do a whole segment on this about how the interest rate affects your buying power, because that's really what it boils down to. Is the higher the interest rate is, the less buying power you have. But I got to tell you, even, you know, everybody's going to freak out when the rates get to 6%, but they're still the lowest they've been in lifetimes.
right.
I remember when I was looking for my first house, because, you know, I'm a little younger than Pat.
He is 7 years younger.
That's right.
I needed a younger man.
So anyway, yeah, when I was looking for my first house, the rates were 11%.
Wow. Okay.
And
Interesting.
you know, that's pretty high.
Yeah, because we actually had a client get in the 4s still just this past week.
Yeah.
It was locked in.
Yeah, you can still get in the 4s if you've got good credit and you know, you're putting 20% down.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he was putting down.
At 20%.
20%.
Yeah. 20%.
Yeah, and you can get loans up to just 3% down. We're seeing a lot of those happening. So if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of cash for a down payment, you can still make that happen with just 3%, as long as you've got some decent credit. And of course, if anybody has questions on that, we can hook you up with somebody that we know that is really good with that sort of thing, a mortgage broker. And of course, we don't get anything from any of these people we recommend. We just think they're great. Yeah. And when you find someone great, you have to latch on to it. Yeah, that's for sure. And you know, it makes our life easier if people use, like, you know, Steve Kelly, the guy that we really like.
Sure.
You know, it just makes our life easier because they do a good job for the clients, and that means it's a lot smoother sailing for us.
Sure.
I was thinking here too, Pat, about, we're talking about people's attitude out in the marketplace, is I'm seeing less people who are like insane about their prices. It seems like people are settling down a little bit about that.
You mean the sellers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I've got an work opinion to get them to list it, you know, for a reduced price than they want to list it. As Laura Beth will know, and, you know, everybody else here will know that you know, if you overprice, it's really going to become an issue down the road.
Yeah, it really is. Because, you know, I got to tell you, I've got some colleagues on online right now from NextHome, and you guys will back me up on this. I know. You know, people go, well, you know, it's a seller's market, so I want to get top dollar. And which, yeah, you're going to get top dollar, but you're not going to get way more than the thing's worth.
No.
Like, well, I'm going to get a cash buyer because, well, let me back up a little bit. Well, first of all, if it doesn't appraise, they can't get the loan on it.
Right.
And they're not going to sell it. So I want to get a cash buyer. I'm going to get a cash buyer is going to fall in love with it, and they're going to pay. Like, people that have that kind of cash are not stupid.
No.
They're not going to pay.
They're definitely doing their research.
They're not going to pay more than something's worth, no matter what Zillow says.
That's right.
It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So, I mean, what happened with, you know, this is one of those lessons we have to learn periodically. You know, we'll take a listing, go, okay, we're going to price it at that, but it's not going to sell. Now, of course, they'll forget all about that part.
Right.
And it took forever. You know, I got sick of going to this house and showing it to people and having open house after open house, and it just wasn't selling. And of course, there's no memory of me saying it was too high. You know, it's like, wow, why aren't you selling it? It's too hard.
It's like 100,000 over too high.
It was crazy. But, you know, there's, you know, live and learn, I guess. That's just the way it goes. Let's see. Oh, we're doing great on time.
We are.
Yeah. Well, let's go to some questions here. We've got questions and answers. So here's one. I know you've got an opinion on this.
I have an opinion on everything.
Okay, so the question is, I've got a house that's under contract. Should I let the buyer start moving some stuff in early? They want to put some stuff in the garage. Yeah.
No, never.
No.
Never.
Do not do that.
No, we don't recommend that at all. Ever.
There's so much liability involved in that. And then what if the deal doesn't go through? Then there's stuff's in there. Yeah. And then it's like trying to get a what a
tenant.
squatter.
Oh,
Trying to get a squatter's stuff out
like
of there.
eviction or something. Yeah, it's not a good move to do at all.
No,
No.
we highly recommend against letting anybody put anything in that house before it's closed, because man, you're just opening yourself up for all kinds of trouble. And I mean, I know you've seen it all. You've seen people that were, well, I don't want to say dumb enough, but well, I've said dumb enough to do it. And
we're so against it. Don't do it.
Yeah, so if you have done that, please, I'm not trying to insult you. I apologize. All right. Here's one most people won't know the answer to. Can I lease my house for more than 1 year? In other words, the lease agreement, could it be for 2 years? Anybody know the answer to that online? No, nobody knows this one.
Okay.
I knew it just because I just happened to remember it from the test. But in Florida anyway, the statute of frauds says you cannot have a lease agreement for more than 1 year. And there is a way around it, but it involves a lawyer. So, you know, there's always a way around everything, of course. But generally speaking, you cannot have a lease for more than 1 year. And it has to be canceled in writing by both parties. So statute of frauds, did you know that one? I'm sure you did. You know everything.
No, I don't.
Man, I'm just riding Pat's coattails,
No,
you
you're
guys.
not.
That's all I'm doing.
No, you're
Just
not.
riding the coattail, relying on her. Okay, I got a third one here. Oh, this is a good one. What do you do if somebody has a piece of property that's outside the area that we serve? Now, we serve a pretty big territory.
We really do. You know, I always say to someone, we serve like from Wesley Chapel all the way down to Siesta Key, which is a really large area. And depending on price point, Orlando, we go actually out that far. If it's in Windermere, we'll head out there because that's usually, this is our dog Lucky, by the way.
Hey, Lucky.
He's getting up. And so, yeah, it just depends, but we service mostly Pinellas County here in the St. Pete area, but we do go further out. Like we sold a condo just very recently. Actually, I think we closed the day before New Year's or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, down in
Bradenton.
Bradenton, yeah,
So,
Manatee County.
Manatee County. So we do service other counties.
Yeah.
So.
But you know, people always ask, well, you know, it's most of your business in St. Pete, and our office is in St. Pete. We live in St. Pete, so yeah, naturally, most of the stuff we do ends up being in the St. Pete area. And
Chuck is born and raised in St. Pete. He's actually never lived anywhere else.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really interesting because you know you don't really meet too many natives, but there you go.
Yeah.
And so he knows this area really well.
There's nowhere I'd rather live.
I know he loves it down here, and so do I.
Pat took me on this awesome, like, honeymoon trip around the world for umpteen weeks.
5 weeks in 5 different countries in Europe.
I didn't see a single place that I'd rather live.
Wow.
I didn't see anywhere I'd want to move to.
I want to go back to Vienna.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't want to move there.
No, that's true.
Yeah, we're lucky to live here.
We're very lucky to live here.
We really are.
It's so beautiful here.
So, oh, yeah, getting back to the question. If it is outside our area, we know, it seems like hundreds of colleagues.
I think
with
it's
NextHome.
1,000 now. Thousands of colleagues.
I mean, we know them personally.
We know thousands of NextHomies.
Yeah, I don't mean we just know them like, you know, from the website, but
right. We've actually
met whenever we travel out of the state or out of town. We always try and make a point of stopping by NextHome brokerages and meeting people and, you know, just making friends. Really, it's just fun to make friends. Really.
It is.
And of course, we've got our big convention once a year. We've got one coming up in
March.
6 weeks.
Yeah, March. We'll be in Las Vegas from the 21st to the 29th, but the conference is somewhere in between there.
Yeah, and all the movers and shakers are out there.
Yeah, it's really great. You know, we learned so much.
The folks that actually go to the conferences, those are the people that are really serious about business.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to meet those folks, especially.
It is. Yep, it sure is.
So anyway, long story short, yeah, if it's outside our territory, we probably know somebody personally that we can recommend that we know will do a real good job.
We have done referrals to a lot of states, North Carolina, Montana was just recently. So so we do refer all over. And so we really do like to refer them to somebody that we know, like, and trust.
Do you know we referred more than 20 referrals this year?
There you go.
Yeah, more than 20.
Wow.
Now, of course, not all of them went with that person because,
Right.
you know, maybe they weren't the right person. But yeah, I think there were 20
Wow, that's fabulous.
this last year that we actually sent to people we knew. All right, so that's it for the questions.
Very good.
And I promised online that we were going to talk about how to sell your house quickly. So, Pat, you want to launch off with that?
Sure. So we had a couple who had a house, and this is more than one time this has happened. They actually got a pods unit for the front of their driveway, and it didn't stay there. But, hey, Vanessa, they got a pods unit, and what happens with that is they put their extra furniture in there and all their belongings and maybe where they want to go, you know, where it's going to end up going. And it's off the property, and the house has less furniture in it. Because a lot of times people have too big of furniture, and they might even put all of it in there. And then the house becomes staged. So that's another way of kind of making your house look really, really great for selling, is staging. So I have like my own little story about staging, and I had a townhome here in Saint Pete. And it was listed for, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, whatever. And the market was a little different than it is now. But it was, you know,
no calls. Nobody was coming to look
at it.
And
then I had a low bid offer on it, and it was absolutely fabulous. It had travertine marble and cherrywood cabinets and stainless steel. And it was just a really beautiful, on a lake, and it was just really nice. And so that was on a Saturday. I got someone to stage it. And on Sunday, I had an almost full price offer on it. So here you go. Here's a realtor.
Coincidence?
Who is actually a certified home stager, as well as Chuck is. And we didn't stage it. I don't know why. We're being silly. Anyway, in a day it's sold. And so people need to be able to see themselves living there. So selling a house fast, decluttering is so important. I love this show right now, Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, Kondo. If you haven't seen it,
oh my God,
awesome.
I wish I hadn't watched that show.
I know. Well, I've gotten rid of like a ton of stuff ready, and it's okay.
Yeah, not me.
I know. But it's a really great way to kind of downsize a little bit with your things and have a garage sale and make some money. And so
we're having one this weekend.
We're having that one this weekend of the stuff that when we watched Marie Kondo, it's like, oh my God, I can sell that. Like, why am I keeping all that?
Hey, you guys, forget this whole thing that Pat just said. This coming weekend, if you live in our area, come by and buy our stuff.
Yeah.
We've got really good stuff too. It's garage sale. So watch for it online. And there's my little ad for it.
That's okay. So another thing is getting rid of personal items. And what I mean by that is no family photos, no little Johnny trophies all over the place. We're shrine to Johnny somewhere, you know, because he's so great. You need to get rid of it and depersonalize everything that you have. It doesn't mean like to have blank walls, but you can have up some photos. But the photos would have to be, or pictures, just very nondescript, like flowers or whatever, something along those lines. Nothing that's going to be where they can't envision themselves there. You want to make sure that people can envision themselves where they are going to live. So decluttering. Another thing is you should really be sprucing up the house. Curb appeal is extremely important. So if your lawn doesn't look good, if you don't have mulch down, if you didn't trim your trees and this and that, you really need to be able to do that and paint your front door. Paint your front door because that's really important too. You don't want it to look, old and dingy. So curb appeal is extremely important. And coming through the door, you want to make sure that the person has a good visual of how they could envision themselves living there. So
it's the first impression, right?
It's the first impression. So first impressions are so important in any relationship, and especially when you're trying to get top dollar for your house. It's extremely important.
You made an impression on me.
I did. I made an impression on him.
Yeah. I made an impression on her too.
That's true.
But all it took with me was putting the shopping cart back.
That's true.
Well, that's a whole nother story, isn't it?
That's true.
If you guys got questions, just type them in. We'll answer them.
We have some little notes here. Hi, Karen.
Oh yeah, we got tons to know. Which Karen is it? Oh, Karen. Wow, I haven't seen you in a long time. Anyway, yeah, decluttering, depersonalizing. What about like can I leave my giant picture of Jesus up? What about that? What about touchy stuff like that?
If you have any religious or political things up, I totally recommend taking them down.
Political stuff?
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody agree with me?
No.
What?
So if you have any political things up, or just if you wanted to go to the masses. So speaking of the masses, if you have we have just antique white kind of painted throughout our house. Is that the color it is, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it behind us.
But it's a nice color and it's pretty. But if you have one room red, one room yellow, one room pink, I'll be honest with you, the person's going to say, and I know they can change the paint color. You and I know that. But they will say, I don't like this paint color.
They always say to come in.
So I say,
oh my God. And of course, it's kind of funny. Depending on who they are, we'll say oh, well, gee, we might as well leave. There's no way we can change that.
Right.
Hey,
right.
You know what the statistics say the best paint color is for inside a house?
What's that?
It's Sherwin-Williams Canvas Tan.
There you go.
That's what research says is the best color for inside your house.
That's right
now.
I remember that.
And then there was a second place one. I don't remember it right now. If you need to know, let us know.
I have the swatch for it.
We'll tell you.
Guys want to know.
Yeah,
but if you are thinking about listing or selling your home, just make sure that you don't have crazy colors, because someone is not going to be able to really envision themselves there. And I know it's kind of like vanilla and you're serving the masses kind of thing, but it really does make a difference to be able to do that.
Yeah. And also, it doesn't matter what you like, because it doesn't matter what you like. Right. It matters what sells. This is merchandising now.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to make it pretty for us, because you're moving out. And if you hire us, you're moving out soon.
That's true.
That's for sure.
That's true.
So, whatever we recommend to do to your house, that's just temporary. You're not going to be living there very long.
Can you scroll that up?
Can I scroll it up?
Yeah, so I can
I'm
see
scrolling
this is on. Thanks. Okay. Thank you.
Tons of people.
That's good.
Well, a few people anyway.
Yeah, so I hope a few of you are still on. And so, it's a whole science to selling a house. It really is. You have to make sure that the person can really envision themselves there, like I said.
Mm-hmm. So
you want to get rid of everything personal. You want to spruce up the front and come inside and make sure that it's really, really clean. Two other things, have your windows washed outside, because it will let more light in.
I got stats for that too.
He's got stats for that. He's the stat man.
Yeah. Now check this out. I didn't do this myself, but someone I know, they actually took a light meter, read the light that was coming through the window, and then cleaned the windows real good. There was twice as much light coming through after it was cleaned. And they said that it was just like average dirty. It wasn't like it was filthy and had this like scum on it or anything.
Sure.
But just average dirty.
Interesting.
Clean the window, you get twice as much light in.
Wow.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, the other thing is to replace your light bulbs. And a lot of people don't think about doing that, but just replacing your kind of dull bulbs, because they do get dull after a while.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. So replacing your light bulbs.
So kind of like, never mind.
Replacing your light bulbs will give you more light in the house too, because you want the house to be as light and bright as possible.
Yeah.
So that when someone comes in, they just have a very good feeling about it. And make sure that the house is really clean.
Hey, what about smells?
Oh, smells is another thing. So
how do you deal with that?
Yeah, if they, I've had buyers walk out if the house smells like dog. Our house does not smell like dog, however, even though Lucky's right here.
Lucky will tell you he does not smell like a dog.
Lucky will tell you he doesn't smell like a dog. So, yeah, if it smells like a dog, or if they smell cat, or food smells are really a big deal. because people may think that they can't get that smell out. Now, we don't have any carpet in our house. It's just we don't like carpet. But if you walk into a home that does have carpet, and this is like as a listing agent, let's say, if they can't get that carpet clean, first of all, it needs to be replaced. Or if there's a smell, it needs to be replaced. And I'm not talking about going out and putting total hardwood floors in there. Maybe new carpet where then the dog doesn't go in and pee on the carpet. Hello, put a gate up. Make sure you take the dog out, kind of thing.
You know what I noticed is that a lot of times people who are concerned about allergies, they'll kind of get it in their mind that if it smells in there, that there's allergens all up in the air conditioning system and hidden all over, and that it'll be impossible to get them out.
Yeah, that's
now, of course, we know that's not true.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter. We're just trying to make sure people don't have an excuse to leave.
Yeah. When you list in a house, you really want to make sure that it looks its best.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is.
It smells good.
Yeah. Now, repairs are another thing. You're not going to tell someone you need a whole brand new kitchen and, spend $30,000.
No, that's not going to pay off.
No, that won't pay off. Believe it or not, I think the number one item that really pays off is garage doors. You can put that up.
Pull it up.
This again. It's all the way down.
All right. So it's beeping, so I don't know what it is.
All right.
I'm new.
That's all right. Try and keep it up
okay,
so we can see who's joining.
There's nothing we need to worry about.
No. So, sorry, guys. Hi, Henry. So, yeah, so repairs are another thing. And, you don't want your your clients to spend a fortune of money, your sellers, in getting things done. But garage doors are actually a really good investment. I think they get like 90-something% back as an investment on a garage door.
Now, we've got a whole sheet on that.
We have a whole sheet
that we wrote.
Yeah, about what is good for that kind of situation where you have someone that does need to have work done. And it really could be done on a budget. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get your house looking really great. It's a lot of knee work, leg work, whatever you want to call it.
Knee work?
Yeah, on your hands and knees cleaning the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, you're on your knees cleaning the floor and getting all the baseboards. So you want to make sure that it's very clean. And like I said from the beginning, you want to make sure that the person feels comfortable in the home and is able to see themselves in that house. So.
That it?
I think that might be it.
Well, that was a lot.
That was a lot. There's so much you can do.
Well, you ask Pat a question, it's just like giving a little gentle.
There's things you can do, like, you can make chocolate chip cookies in the oven. You can place
we never do that.
No.
I wish we did.
Then you'd want to eat them. Place a vase with flowers around. Make the house smell good. Let the light in. Let the light in. You don't want to have people not having enough light to even walk around. Make sure you change your bulbs too.
Hey, what about that house that we saw yesterday? Had a big old Confederate flag in the window.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that house would be tough to sell.
Yeah, it was huge. I don't even know how big it was.
It's like the whole window.
The whole window.
Yeah.
So going on a listing appointment like that,
you need to take that thing down.
Yeah, you'd have to take that down. You don't want to insult a buyer.
Yeah.
And you really have to be mindful of that. Well, I'm not going to take my thing down because, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then you can sit there with your house. It's like, have some common sense in your head. Yeah, because you'll have buyers that may even drive by and say, I'm not going in that house at all because I don't want to have anything to do with that seller.
With that kind of person.
Yeah, with that seller. So be mindful of, like we said, religious and political and, not leaving anything out that they could.
Anything divisive.
Yeah, anything that they would have an issue on, really. To me, anyway, that's what I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's it.
You believe our half hour went by already? We kind of planned on a half hour for this.
We planned on a half hour.
So
that went fast.
We're going to do this again next Tuesday. And next Tuesday is going to be even better because now we're experienced Facebook Live people.
I'm experienced already. I know how to do Facebook
Well, I'm not.
Live. I do that all the
I'm
time.
not. I'm kind of new. So,
So do you guys have any questions? I see there's a few people on here. So do you guys have any questions for us? We love to answer some and you can ask us anything. There's nothing off limits.
I think we told them everything.
We told them everything?
No.
All
No,
right.
you can ask us anything.
You can ask us anything, even offline.
Yeah. Even offline if it's something sensitive or maybe you
Right.
don't want to have everybody know that you asked. As long as it doesn't violate the Sherman antitrust law,
There you go.
then
That's right.
then we're fine. So anyway, well, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks. This was fun.
It's really nice. This was fun. I like
Yeah,
that.
Lucky enjoyed it too. This is our little dog, Lucky.
Yeah, he was quiet.
He was
So
quiet.
that's
That
a
was
bonus.
awesome. I know.
So, well, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you online. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. We can end it.
Okay.